Hello, what's up, everybody? I'm back in shape. Speaking about apocalypse in survival horror video games, which was my thesis, my PhD thesis during the years of 2010, between the years 2010 and 2014. I already talked a little bit about the universe of Resident Evil, and as I said earlier, the core idea of my thesis was that I can follow the narrative of the apocalypse from the Zoroastrian mythology through Hebrew mythology, and after that through Christianity, Gothic literature, horror literature, and finally in the movies, until I arrived at the survival horror video games that I find to be closer to the idea of destruction and revelation. Particularly, I thought about Resident Evil 2, and this is what we are going to play today. And I will try to focus more on playing, adding a little bit of my interpretation here and there. So we'll talk about why Resident Evil can be considered an apocalyptic video game in the terms of narratives, and we can also think about Roland Barthes as a key of interpretation of these narratives. Okay, we do remember that Roland Barthes he actually analyzed how myths worked in popular culture, and Roland Barthes actually thought that those mythologies, resurrected and refurbished from their original source, are actually changed because they convey another purpose in popular culture. However, this purpose is not unguilty of the sin of ideology, if you may say so, if I may say so. Ideology, according to Roland Barthes, is still very present in popular culture in the way they employ mythologies and myths to form a rhetoric that actually can instill and manipulate the viewers towards a certain goal, which might be buying a certain product. But as we can see, and actually this was on Netflix released recently, think about social dilemma, think about how social media can actually influence the viewers and so forth. Now, it seems like through social media and popular culture, people can be actually influenced. It's not the big news in the sense that it's not something, wow, we didn't know about that. We knew about television before. I recently watched some of the conferences that actually deal with ideology and technology. Okay, I cut the word ideology, I remove it. I meant technology, how technology was associated with the idea of tyranny and total control in the past. And I will not point towards that conference that I've seen. It's more like a lecture. But the idea is that in the past, in the ancient Greece, there were a lot of tyrants, many tyrants who seek to have this technological power. And I will try to focus a little bit more on this idea because it's a little bit new to me. I encountered this idea when I studied a few years ago Resident Evil from the point of view of technology. What does technology imply? Why can technology be associated with apocalypse, in what terms and so forth? But I didn't actually dive deeper into this subject. So today I will talk a little bit more about it, the way I just interpret it. So it's a raw interpretation. Yes, I might change my mind later, so just take it as a discussion. Let's start the game, though. It won't be from the beginning. Resident Evil is a game that, okay, it's a horror game. What horror does is try, as a horror game, it tries to find somehow and resurrect from the ground those things that actually can attack our today's society's beliefs. And those beliefs actually, remember that the idea of Resident Evil wasn't born yesterday. Or it's an older idea, so it's not even new to Resident Evil. The idea of zombies and consumerism. So it's something that attacks in a way or refurbishes the idea of consumerism and Homo hominum lupus. The man is a wolf towards the man, right? People consume other people, and this fear to lose humanity in front of consumerism, this fear of losing your morality, the distinction between what's good and bad and so forth, because all you want to accomplish is to consume the others for your needs, for your pleasure, for whatever. I think is very well expressed in the metaphor of the zombie. And of course, there are video games like Resident Evil who also show this particularly well. Okay, so let's begin the story. Let's continue the story to be more precise. Okay, until it's loading, it's gonna be. I hope it's not going to be very slow. I can talk a little bit about the idea of technology associated with the idea of tyranny. There is a huge difference of power between gods and mortals. Think about the ancient Greece. I have in mind Hephaestus' forge. Hephaestus was the god who used fire to build all kind of weapons and crazy machines. Okay, I think he built the lightning bolt for Zeus, and he also had this kind of automatons who could speak and could fulfill all kind of tasks for Zeus. And I believe if you watched Raised by Wolves, and you have this idea of a necromancer, this is drawn from Hephaestus, or like from Greek mythology, from Hephaestus forge. It's one of these products inspired from there. So we can see how technology actually can offer the one who controls it immense power. And of course, with power comes control, and with control and power can come abuse. This happens in the scenario of Resident Evil as well, because what we have here is a dystopian capitalist society that collapses because those people who lead it, they try to get the absolute power. They try to actually conquer mortality. They want the power of the gods. Okay, so we have those people from the Umbrella Corporation who play with things that should be forbidden. They are doing genetical experiments and so forth, who are immoral and they are illegal. And the results of this experiment is the virus that actually kills everyone and transforms everyone into zombies in Raccoon City. Now, this is very, very dangerous for the whole globe. It's not just the Raccoon City, because this can spread and become a pandemic. And in a way, it reiterates the idea of the one that we have today in our society, in the global society, of the coronavirus, when everybody was more or less affected by this reality, by this grim reality. And in this sense, we do live an apocalyptic scenario, but apocalyptic in the sense that the war could end, not necessarily in the sense of revelation, which is what the word apocalypse means. Okay, so what kind of revelation do we have in the era of fake news and so forth? Well, this scenario, the scenario of apocalypse, it's a very old scenario. As I said earlier, it's a scenario that was initiated by Zoroastrianism, probably, because in Zoroastrianism we have this idea of history that doesn't repeat. Before that, we have cycles of creation and destruction of the universe in other traditions, but we don't enter there. We are not only interested in what can be considered apocalyptical. Okay, so we don't have the film that needs to be developed here. Okay. Film contains evidence, do not leave out. Okay, let's move on. Maybe we should add something here. Let's store something. Okay, so we talked about old technologies and new technologies. What Resident Evil does in the sense of Gothic style is it refurbishes all these kind of chests that are specific to different kind of realities. These realities are not okay. These realities are not something that are used the way they were used in reality. So think about society, the real society. Okay, maybe you have a chest like that one, and you're gonna store something valuable in it. That's not something very new, but definitely someone will never use a typing machine to save whatever it saves. However, a typing machine serves as a recorder of memories. Okay, so in this sense, it's the idea of continuity. If you write something and it's written somewhere, okay, that's like a prevention from forgetting. So we have this idea of continuity through employing technology. Okay, technology offers us the means that the biological brain don't offer, right? So our memories, our brain memories can change. So every time when we remember something, think about the movie Memento and the argument of the hero of the movie says like, okay, if we write something on paper, that is something that will never change. Okay, so our memories are flawed. We can distort our memories when we record it on something physical by means of technology. Even writing can be understood as a technology of storing data and memory. It's safer. It doesn't change that easily as our memories do. So we have the typewriting machine that has this function here to record memories and magically resurrect the character, because this is what saving is, right? You get resurrected every time if you die in the game from this point. So that's why I use the term to refurbish old technologies, and this is actually a Gothic Gothic device, you may say, but Gothic device in the sense of Gothicism, the literary current of Gothicism that gave us Dracula and all the others that followed, like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and so forth. Things that use older architecture and reminiscences of the past in order to give us a different meaning. Okay, so we have many things like that in the game. Let's move on and try to play it a little bit further. What happens here, as I said earlier, is the fact that Claire tries to find her brother in the city of Raccoon. She finds herself separated from the only human being that she met who stood alive, Leon. after a truck crashed their police car, and there is a lot of symbolism there. As I said earlier in my previous videos, this symbolism derives and follows the same structure of apocalyptic writing at many levels. So, okay, where is the gun? Yeah, let's actually equip this gun because we will perhaps need it very soon. Okay, this I don't know. And one thing about Christianity, and not only, is the fact that Christianity, I just jumped from topics to topics, but one of the fact that we know about Christianity is those interpretations. So there were this father of the church, fathers of the church who believe that God's writing is written in the sky somehow. So we have this idea of the sky as the skin, or like the pergament on which God writes history, right? You may think about sky as a metaphor for the entire universe, and the fact that God writes the reality using logos on the skin of the 3D projected reality. So many times we find these signs just like a ledger or like a book. We have a lot of information on the paratext, like on the background, things that seem normal but are not, right? So we will try to find and interpret these things while we play the games, because this is what I did during my PhD thesis, and well, I found many of these. Otherwise, I wouldn't just play this video game just for fun. So I like reading. I use games as a pretext to read more, to make my reading more interesting. Let's try to examine this and see what's going on here. Okay, a small portable safe. Okay, so we can. Okay, we have this one. No. Okay, 2. No. Dun dun. One, two, three. Was it this one? Yes. No, that one. No. Yes. Which one? Which one? No. Okay, let's try to find out this one. No. Okay, let's try to focus. No. Did I? Okay, I think we opened it up. Ta-da! So spare part, a small part of some sort. All right. We already know about this one. We don't need to combine it with anything. Thank goodness we have some other stuff here. All right, moving on. Let's see what we have. Ta-da-dum, ta-da-dum, dum-dum-dum. There's a locker there. Okay. The locker says FDK, FDK, EDK. So, as I said earlier, there's a lot of conspiracy theory added in this game. It's a lot of content about Illuminati, about all kind of secret societies who try to control the world and just end it for their advantage. And from this point of view, we have this idea of biological technology or experiments, biological experiments that are illegal and immoral and so forth. So they are transgressive. They are against the will of God, if you want to put it in a religious context. So we have this idea of transgression in order to achieve power is directed towards power over the world. So it's something that this corporation, umbrella corporation, a pharmaceutical corporations wants to do and wants to achieve. And basically this is by using technology. Now, the association with technology and the seek of power, trying to find the power, also is an association that coins together the idea of absolute power or tyranny and technology. From our past, we already know that there were tyrants in ancient Greece that used technology exactly to control people more, to instill fear on them, and actually they use technology in order to fulfill three purposes. Those tyrants, actually, according to the professor that I forgot her name, but tyrants use technology in order to fulfill either labor, entertainment, or sexual pleasure. Okay, so if you think about what a robot or automaton does, is the fact that it doesn't ask any questions. It just does what it's told to do. So it just fulfills its function. So somehow, perhaps tyrants, those who needed absolute control over their slaves and workers and people who work for them and so forth, they dreamed the idea of absolute control, when those who are enslaved don't have any free will, because an automaton, a robot, doesn't have a free will. At least those in ancient Greece didn't have. And they totally obey orders. And you can imagine what this idea can lead us to. The fact that people in the past who seeked out absolute and gained absolute power towards the people they controlled, they actually wanted objects they can use and discard whenever they pleased. So those objects they needed because they wanted to fulfill something like labor. They needed even the gods in ancient Greek mythologies. Gods used technology for their own purposes that implied labor, like carrying. They had these carts, automatic carts that moved the food from one place to another according to God's needs. And of course, this is both labor and seeking pleasure of eating something delicious and so forth. And another mean was sexual pleasure. Okay, so there are this kind of fetishes even today when people try to use objects in order to satisfy their sexual desires, and some of this can be, inflated dolls or robots, like androids and so forth. And the other thing is entertainment. Okay, so whoever those tyrants wanted to control, being slaves or machines, it seems like it's this selfish desire to have absolute control, and the object that fulfills the job should have no ego at all, should just be an object. So yeah, I find this quite worrying, but it is what it is. Like, in the past, those things were associated and it seems to be that way. Okay, so let's try to portable safe instructions. We actually solved this puzzle, but okay, Rookie's first assignment. We solved this one. Uses of gun part operation report. Okay, it's down to just me and 3 others. No weapons, no ammo, and too many skirmishes have drained us mentally and physically. We're not gonna make it. Officer Phillips once suggested we escape through the sewers. Apparently, there's a secret tunnel and this place. Okay. This is not the key for that locker's code. September 25th. We're tuning the station in a temporary shelter due to the massive sudden outbreak. All police personnel have been instructed to make the safety okay. Okay, yeah, record of events, we don't have it here. Officer's notebook, way out. Okay, so it seems that we actually do not have anything that will lead us to any information about how to open that locker, and we have to leave this place. Okay, I played some of the chapters of this game, but I didn't finish it. Not the remake. I only studied Resident Evil 2, the first version, the old one, when I wrote my thesis about it and other survival horror apocalyptic video games. It's so funny because today we live this nightmare, and maybe for the good or the worst, we'll have a technology utopia or dystopia very soon. So here it is, another one. Okay, so we don't know how to solve the puzzle yet. There's a key there. That's so cool. Except the fact that we don't know where to put it. We have to leave it there for a while. It's very interesting that I actually tried to read the titles of these books. South Animal, India. As I said earlier, nothing is accidental in this video game, and in survival horror video games, generally speaking, there are some titles that actually they make sense. They represent the passion of the owner, which is Chief Banks. Yeah, I think he's the one who controls the police station. So we have this the geography globe here, Earth, right? So geography, exploration of uncharted territories. So this is a metaphor for science discoveries as well. Okay, it goes hand in hand, and daring to surpass the the barriers or the limits of what is considered known, safe, and moral as well. So it's a symbol of transgression, okay? People at some point decided in history that they wanted more. They wanted to explore, they wanted to find, they wanted to get richer. What they had, it wasn't enough. They wanted more, of course. Why? Because, well, nobody wants to die, basically. You may think about this. So it's more like an alchemy process here. So you can think about Umbrella Corporation as a corporation who tries to find a cure for mortality, even with the expense of destroying the whole world in the process. To save a few will be something like gods. Okay, as you can see here, creators' rights, Homer. Oh, is that Homer? It's just home. Oh. There is some betrayal there, creators and so forth. It's a combination between books who show us some titles of some bands that played music for this game. But of course, even the title of the song gives us this idea of struggle between the good and the evil, an apocalyptical struggle. Okay, so everything points to the idea of the end of the world, and it's normal to be like that because this is what Resident Evil is about. Zombie apocalypse. So it is very well documented. I explained in another video more about this, and I won't Google it right now. But let's move further, and first of all, let's put some of the items in the stash downstairs. Oh, this is still the second floor. I need to go down. Yeah, take your bullets. Apparently so. Okay, so store these ones and store the plant. Okay, let's try to open up something and save the game a little bit. Okay, we talked about saving the game. This is the moment when we actually record something that has the function to bring continuity to this narrative, to the video game's narrative. Okay, is there anybody? Yeah. Okay, come on. For unknown reasons, it seems like the frame rate isn't very good now. But storage, locker, terminal memo. What do we have here? It appears that the keypad to locker's terminal is missing a few keys. I suggest that the person responsible for this mess find some spare keys and fix this right now. You know how you are. You know who you are, bastard. Who else would fuck it up this badly? Who else would fuck it up this badly? Okay. Alright. Somebody who is trying to get revenge on the personnel of Raccoon City police station. So it's a personal vendetta here. The Daily Raccoon. Missing man found dead in Raccoon City. Okay, we have these announcements. Missing persons. Okay, missing keys. There is a mystery. Things don't work. Just like this machine here. And if you think about the missing persons as missing buttons from a society, then the society will not work, because this happens. Somebody does the wrong thing for selfish reasons, and we can interpret it this way. Now, what happens if we put this button? We can choose either 2 or 3. So let's, before we choose this, let's find out what can we get. 102. So if we press 2, we'll have some film there. 103. We'll get a knife. 106. Oh, there's the film. 106. So 106 can be pressed right away. I think that's powder, like ammo powder. Okay. 1. Come on. I don't want that. Okay. I think I need to put that key button there before I can press anything. 203. Okay, so we need 2 buttons in order to get that one. Okay, I believe that's a west or something like that. $208. Yes. Okay, we can get that with 2. And we need a card here for the weapons locker. $109. As we can see, some bullets. Okay, so 102, 103. What will it be? Somebody comes closer, and I don't like the way it sounds. Okay, why not? Let's put 102. Use it. 102, 103. Okay. Let's press the buttons. 102. Enter. I know. Okay, let's pick it up. Let's open it up. Okay, yes, gunpowder was what we had. I think there's a zombie that will come pretty soon. 103, something that we missed. 106. 109. Okay, 106, 109. One, oh, 6. Yes, and 109. Okie dokie, let's find out. What do we have? Goodies. It is very, very common to video games like, oh, this is the roll film. When it is, when we go to the developing room, to, how do you call that? Yeah. So, yes. Let's combine these. And now, let's search for what we need to press here. 208. Okay, we'll get the 2, 3. We don't have that much buttons to insert there. Okay. So here he is. As I said earlier, employing shocks, little ammunition, and this kind of devices is what a video game, like horror video game, is about. Where are you, Boston? Oh yeah, it's the one that I shot in the leg earlier. Perhaps we can just crush him. Oh no, wasn't a good idea. Wasn't a good idea at all. Okay.
Oh no.
Is he still alive? I hope he died. Okay. Let's go back there and take what's left. I play with on easy mode. Don't judge me because of that. 208. Because I'm interested in the narrative. Yep, there it is. Yes, okay, moving on. So we need another button. And we also need to save the game, maybe. Now, if you save the game, you can see how many times you save the game. 6 times. Okay. It's important not to save the game so many times, but I'm not worried about this because what I want to do is actually understand the narrative and explain it while playing it. Okay. Yeah, we needed to put some of the things in the stash as well. Okay, roll film, we need that. Combine. Alright. Combine. Okay, we have enough bullets for a while. And we don't need this because we don't have a gun that is required for such a thing. And we get flame rounds and okay, let's understand a little bit about roll film, an undeveloped roll of film. Let's develop it and see. Okay, so we found out a commemorative photo. Now, as we can see, there is a king here. It's very important to understand the symbolism of the king, because what is a king in Western tradition, but not only, towards all the tradition around the globe, a king is actually someone anointed by a spiritual leader, like the Pope. In the case of Europe, right, Western society had this during the Christian era. So the Pope or the priest or somebody who had a spiritual transmission can anoint a king, because he can recognize that, okay, this is the the person fit to actually rule the world. He's the good shepherd, right? He's not a tyrant. He's not the one who will use technology in a mean way in this term. So we have this idea of a king here, which is a very symbolical idea. It's the archetype of a king, and has these symbols there within it, right? And the king has a scepter in his hand, which of course stands for the power of the king. So what does it do? It opens something, most probably. Okay, so we can see this commemorative photo, and also he carries a book. The book, of course, is another idea of power. Okay, so we have this military power, the scepter, right, and the power of knowledge. So it has both wisdom and, the physical strength. So both technology and the wisdom to use it accordingly to his purpose. So that's the idea behind the employment of a king there. And let's move on and understand a little bit more later while playing the game. Okay, so moving on. It's not impossible to dive in on assisted mode, but I just hope that it won't happen pretty soon. Okay, now if you see these knights here, on the wall, right? They kind of have some shield there, they protect something, right? The idea of a knight and Templar, because if you look at the Umbrella Corporation flag, it really does look like a Templar flag, or Templar symbol umbrella, because it's red and white and looks like a cross. And actually, it's this idea. And this idea is also connected to the conspiracy of Illuminati. Okay, so, all right. I don't think we have anything that actually can allow us to open this door in this passage yet. So let's go further on an upper floor to see what's going on there. Let's go, Claire. Okay, so we can take the key now. It's a spade. Now, we do have this statue here. I try to understand the logic of this. Oh, what's going on? I try to understand the logic of this puzzle. Now, if we look at that lamp, we can see that the lamp casts a shadow. It might be something with that shadow, I'm not sure. That is a statue that might send to the idea of Greek statues, Aphrodite with cut hands, this Greek culture, Greek mythology. And we can see that there is this shadow of the statue cast on the wall here. So on the other hand, we have clear shadow. According to what I found out, somehow the key to the puzzle is given by these books. But I have to admit that I cheated when I actually sold it, and then I realized what it was. Now I don't remember exactly how to do it. It opens South Animal India. So it opens something, and I believe that's the local. Then we have here. So let's try to open it up. Don't have many letters. A, B, A, South African India. Okay, so there's a lot of taxidermy. There's a hole here in the ground. Obviously, this is something that brings us to the idea of Plato's cave. Okay, so of course, the myth of the cave, Plato's cave, from the Republic, the dialogue, the Book of Republic, Plato's Dialogue of Republic tells us about those people in the cave that they are how do you say, they are locked somewhere in, they cannot move. Somebody tied them up, and their hands are tied. They cannot use their hands. And as you can see, this statue doesn't have hands. She cannot use her hands. It's impossible. So you can think about this as a rhetorical device to suggest that you cannot actually open this lock with your hands if you don't have the knowledge of the past, right? So what is the knowledge of the past? Of course, the knowledge of mythology, and also the ways of interpreting it. So we can try to understand more about this. What is that there? So there are some books I couldn't actually read their titles. I'm not sure if there is anything there, but I do know that night, and there is a moon there. Night, level night, LN level night, and more level. And there is a book here that says what? Does it say the same? Story. Night. Level. Okay, let's try to find out something that has to do with these. Creators' Rights. I know this is the title of a song from a band who played some music for the game. They killed him. Okay. Home. What is that? Creators' Right. Unnerving combat. Okay. What is that with whom? heartless betrayal. Okay, so it's something about betrayal, Judas, and this kind of betrayal is the worst sin. I think I talked about this earlier. So we have betrayal. We have night. Yeah, betrayal. We have moon. There's a moon. Okay, maybe this is not the one. Rorschach's test or whatever that is. Level. Do we have a L somewhere? Let's see. Letter L. Yes, we do have. And I think we don't have L everywhere. So it can be letter L. Then we have a letter B from betrayal. I think there is a B there. Betrayal and BFL. Betrayal. Level. Night. Okay, so Nan from night. Night and light. Level. Okay. They killed him. Homer. We just right. It was also Cleveland's murder, something like that. South Animal, India. We don't have a J there. Well, of course, we can just continue this and try over and over again. But I want to understand the logic of this puzzle. Oops, you meant to do that. You mean to do that. So unnerving combat. Creators' rights. Okay. 2020, as we can see here, 2020. Yeah, this game was released in 2019. Whatever information people had about the pandemics around the world. Or it was just luck. Okay. No, I'm trying to use my detective nose. Night. Okay, night. We have here some knights on the wall, right? Earlier there was some knights there. We'll try the knight. And letter N. Look at that. So not easy to do this. Okay. This is some fighting street. Louisiana, whatever. Murders in Cleveland. MC. We have an M there. We have an M, but we have murders. Trail Cleveland. Okay, it's quite difficult to understand this one. Let's move on. We'll come back for it later. Thank you. Meanwhile, let me pause everything for a while and come back with another. What was that? Oh. Let me not pause. Okay, I believe something happened. Did I exit this door? Yeah. I don't know that actually you need to walk carefully here. Okay. Yes, let's use them later to board the windows. Okay, we do have some books here that might find some meaning. Okay, it's a picture of a slave. So this obsession towards colonialism, and you can see here there's a harlequin. Okay, jester. And the picture of a slave, black slave. South Animal India. What else do we have there? Nothing. Now the jester can stay there. There is something here. Okay, moving on. Is there anything written there? No, he's not. Just right from there. Okay, so this idea of collecting old stuff for one's personal collection. bullets. No. There is a clock. The hands are missing, but let's try to see if we can understand something from the clock. The hands are missing, however, the tape there points to 7:30, 7:30. 7:30. 7:30. Is there anything that points to anything? 7:30. And a quarter past 12. I'm not sure if this means anything. It might mean, but I'm not sure. Okay, anything else? Okay, yes. Here is the place where we have to put some detonator data, but don't have it right now. And some guys scribblings. Those corporate assholes, they cut me off after all I've done for them. But if that's how it's gonna be, so be it. I'm gonna have a little fun of my own as the world goes to shit. I boarded all those filthy pigs up in a steel pen and set some C4. All I gotta do is detonate it and it's sayonara suckers. But it's no fun if it's over too soon, so maybe I'll give that one raving loon something to really squeal about. Yeah, maybe I'll give him a little toy and tell him kill the guy next to you and I'll spare the others. I wonder what he'll do. You yell about justice and pride, but how many times did you go against me, your own superior? Yeah, you're such a good cop, so good you had to die. Man, is this fun? I need some music for this. Okay. Not sure exactly who's that guy. But definitely there is something inside the police station that is conflictual. And perhaps this is Chief Banks. As we can see, this is Roman or Greek. Oh, they look Roman. Okay. Looks like Caesar or something like that. And Noahic statues. A little angel whipping. This is definitely Baroque. That kind of angels. They're an invasion of the Baroque. And the angel is whipping, and behind him is an ancient statue of a hero or warrior figure with wings on its head. So perhaps it's from Norse or Nordic mythology. As I said earlier, this is important because Gothic is a genre that actually uses culture of the past in order to give us more meaning, and it's more like a cognitive process to discover some meaning in the past.
Claire, it's Marvin. How fast can you get back here?
Why? What's up?
I've got something to show you. It's important.
All right, I'm on my way.
Okay, let's move on a little bit. Yeah. Oh, found some action here. Zombies. South India, South India. What is that? I'm not sure what's written there. It is there. This doesn't seem to be very important for our progress in the game. Just covers, book covers, but I said South Animal India. There's nothing very precise about what's going on there. However, we do know that Chief Banks is obsessed with taxidermy. He's a hunter. So the character that we're going to meet very soon, he's passionate about animals and what you can do with them, how to turn them from living beings, free living beings, into objects. And of course, this is also how people can employ technologies in order to totally control their prey and transform what is chaotic and full of surprises into dormant, harmless beasts. An aesthetic object for the pleasure, right? Entertainment, you may say so. If art is not entertainment, that's what it is. And of course, we have here the goddess of justice. As we can see, the balance, the sword in her hand. And justice there. Balance. Justice. And here we have Cupid. And Cupid shoots arrows. I'm not sure exactly what this is, but I'll try to find it out very soon. Whoa! This got me out. Down, boy. Oh. Because you had to say something, right? So I heard you. Okay, stay there, lady. Okay. Oh boy. I think I have enough.
Hell is up with you?
Let's see if we can go there. Yeah, we can. Woohoo! Alright. More gunpowder. Now, we do have the unicorn here. Oh yes, I forgot about that. They can follow you. This wasn't actually in the first Resident Evil 2 game. It's something new. This one seems dead. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh yeah. There you go. Yeah, you wanna say something? Okay, perhaps now it's dead. Strong bastards, yeah. Not good at aiming this. Perhaps I should use a different computer, I'm not sure. Okay, we have another map. Let's see what's going on here. Launch, maybe, blah blah. Okay, moving from this to what we wanted to do earlier. Tum tum. And okay. Okay, what was it? This Fish, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Fish, Scorpio, Aquarius. Yeah, there it is. We have the unicorn medallion. Okay, let's put it here and continue. Let's have a look at it. Okay, so on the other side there is a little boy who goes to the king. So we have this conflict between the father figure, the king, and the innocent child. Okay, this is a figure that leads me to the idea of Kronos fighting Zeus, right? So Kronos trying to kill Zeus. So we also have this story in Resident Evil between the institutions, more or less. We have the orphanage and the police station, right? Well, we also have missing children, so you can think about how the ruler is not actually the good king that I talked about earlier, but a tyrant that he uses and makes experiments on children in the most gruesome way. We will find out that actually this is very, very, very true about what's going on in this video game. Yes, like child sacrifice, and it's one of the themes that we have in survival horror video games and horror genre also. Oh, what did you say? Want to transmit something? Do I have a key? No key? No nothing. Okay, let's try to... Okay. She's upset, but I don't know why. Oh, she lost a leg. Well, that's a reason to be upset. Alright. Don't need to talk to her that much. Okay, maybe... The only problem is like story. Level B, Vivo level, and that's a B. Okay, the lady comes closer.
Seriously?
Okay. Stay still. Okay, almost there. Alright. Maybe you died? There you are. Vivo. What is that? Okay, this is the king's book, the red book. Da-da-da-dum. Let's put it there. Have a look at it. So, as I said earlier, it must be red book art object, a piece of plastic shaped like a book. It looks like it's being held by a hand at some point. We do remember the picture with the king. He had a book in his hand, and we will go there right away. But first of all, let's combine this and make more bullets. We'll need those, and we will need the space for bullets. Okay. Level bevel. So maybe story. Not sure exactly how they managed to create these puzzles and how to solve them, because they are the same titles all over again, but I didn't figure out what's the meaning of these titles. Not yet, at least. It's where I fell, or she fell. Okay. Well, she's a martial artist, isn't she? Okay, something that I actually didn't manage to understand yet. What you need to put in there, right? Pum 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 pum. What happens if we shoot that thing around the... I mean, that thing. Nothing happens. Well, at least I lost 3 bullets for that. So it's more survival from now on. Because we need bullets. Okay. And this is how God answers our prayers. Okay, so I wonder if there is anything else here. Because if it ain't, I'm going to go. Oh, there is. There is a knife I need for later. Okay, knives are always good. But if zombies with it. Okay, so what we need to do basically is trying to find a way to move there. So how we will do that is, it's not that important right now. It will be important later. Well, it is important even right now. Not sure if I can do that. No, I cannot do that because it's exactly what I need that's missing. And I don't believe that I can do this without that lever that moves that thing there. No, this one. A healing spell. Oh, this is not the one that I need. It's something to move that thing away. Not sure what that is. Okay. Maybe that's enough. I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Okay, should be enough. she's not. Something's wrong there, but I'm not sure what's wrong. We look at it from a distance. Yes, yeah, I need to move that one up. Justice and balance. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, I need to go back because I cannot enter that door. And this is the one with the unicorn, right? Yes. And oh, there is another door there. Let's open that one. I think we have the key for that. Yes. Examine first. Let's have a look. Spade key. A spade-shaped key. Spade key. And let's use it. Ta-da! Okay. Wow. Back to the main hole. So, because we already have the unicorn medallion and the lion there. You can actually.
There you are. Come here.
What is it?
Take a look.
Oh my god, he made it!
You know him?
Yeah, it's Leon. Kennedy, I think?
The rookie. Thought he looked familiar. You can make it to that courtyard. The second floor, east side.
Okay. Thanks, Marvin. I'm on it.
Alright, so let's put the medallion here and see what's going on afterwards. Yes. Very nice. Moving on, moving on. But before we move on, let's save once. Yeah. Continue afterwards. Some things I need to do some research about, and particularly I'm concerned about that library and the meaning of those books. If you have any idea, if you listen to what I say, and if there is anyone who actually watches what I'm doing, yeah, please let me know if you know something about that library and those books, because I have no idea. I don't remember. I think I solved that one once. I really don't remember because I didn't take any notes about what it means. Okay. This being said, thank you for watching. I'll post more videos in the future. Basically, I will try to play more for a while and talk later. Alright, thank you once again.